So I have a question here from one of my clients on the email messaging support I do. And what I thought I'd do is I'd share this story. A month or two ago, my live-in girlfriend of about 2.5 years told me she wanted to go on a break. She's been having issues with her family and it had been putting stress on our relationship. She goes to school and waits tables at nights, and I have a full-time job. So she had been going out after work for drinks while I was at home because of work the next day. We had a few fights over it. Never fight with someone if they tell you they want to go on a break, just before I finish it, and I'll explain why, but it's really not good to be doing that. When she brought up going on a break, she said she felt guilty about it and how she was treating me, and I just don't understand what she was going through, so I can't help. I believe her intentions were good, but I did not and still don't want it to be the end of us. We still live together because our lease hasn't finished yet. We see each other a lot, but we don't kiss or anything like that. But other than physically touching, we act exactly the same. Usually on the weekend, we do our own thing with our friends and don't talk much. I'm having trouble trying to decide if I should force the issue of us getting back together or let our lease end and move on. So I leave it to you. What should I do? Okay, first things first. It's a pretty shitty situation to be in, right? I've actually been in this exact same situation twice. Back when I obviously didn't have much going for me. And I've had two separate girls that I've lived with actually asked to go on a break with me. So I've been in this position. It's very, very hurtful, right? Like, you're like, what have I done wrong? Like, we've like, the fact we live together and we have all this chemistry, what could have happened for us to get to this stage. So I fully understand the pain you must be going through, and I fully empathize with you. However, just a few facts of the trade that I want to go through, right? When someone says to you that they want to go on a break with you, they are always going to have what sounds like a justified and logical reason for it, okay? Something along the lines of, work's really busy, so I just need to focus on that for a bit. Or I have something going on with my family right now, so I need to focus on that. Or, I've got a lot to do at school right now. I'm studying. I've got loads of due dates and deadlines. So there's always going to be something that sounds logical and justified. However, someone who's truly in love with you, they would actually lean on you more if they're going through a time like that. They would require that emotional support, validation, and connection with you more when they are going through something like that, right? Which leads me to believe that her asking you for a break actually comes from a drop in attraction, as opposed to this kind of icing on the cake reason, this palatable reason she's giving you that sounds logical. It sounds like it makes sense. I'm sure she is going through stuff with her family. She probably is, and you might be able to prove that. But again, the fact that she's not doing anything physical with you is another sign of lowered attraction, right? So the fact nothing physical is happening between you guys, plus she's asking you for a break, both of those reasons would lead me to believe that there is just a drop in her general level of attraction towards you. And in the nicest way possible, I can kind of see why. Because what it is that you've said over here is you had fights over the fact that she's asked to be on a break with you. You should never be getting into an argument and logically trying to convince a girl why she should be in love with you or why she should stay with you. There's a very popular saying that goes, you want to change her mood, not change her mind. You cannot logically sit there and say to a girl, I have done X, Y, and Z in this relationship, and therefore you should feel this way. Logical and emotional ways of computing things are complete opposite. A girl's way of loving you is emotional, right? How can you logically... This is a big problem guys have. You're far too logical, right? You're far too problem solving. Like, for example, she's potentially going through something with her family. Let me guess. When you're advising her or you're listening to her, you're probably like, you should do this. Girls don't always want a solution to their problem. This is an ideology from a book called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. If a girl is going through an issue, just let her talk to you about it. Be that ear for her to listen to, be that shoulder for her to cry on, okay? Listen to her, ask her questions about it, okay? Like, what's happened? What are you thinking about doing? How do you feel about it? Is there any update on it? You don't need to always have a solution to it. Okay, there have been times where I've sat there with girls and let them talk about stuff they're going through, and I genuinely care, and I let them talk and talk and talk about it. I would not have said anything except ask a few leading questions to kind of keep the conversation going in a way where I can understand more about her situation. And without having even given any advice, they'll be like, it's been so helpful talking to you. I feel so much better. So that's another tip for you, right? It sounds like you guys are going to be living with each other for a few more months. So don't always try to be Mr. Solution, Mr. Logical. Actually listen to her problem and just be that ear for her to talk to. But you actually need to care, okay? And it sounds like you do, to be fair. Secondly, never, ever, ever argue with someone when they say they want to go on a break with you. This is for both girls and guys, actually. How can you logically convince someone that they need to stay with you? It's just... It just seems very kind of like... In the UK, we use a term called beggy, right? Beggy, it's like you're begging a little bit, right? It's just... It doesn't sit well with me. And I understand that, of course, you've dated someone for 2.5 years. You are going to be upset. You are going to be angry. I'm not telling you to mask the fact you're upset that she's asking you for a break. But I'm asking you to approach the situation with a reaction to her her telling you she wants to go on a break that sits like this. You should say something like this, okay? It upsets me that we have to go on a break together. So, you know, you go do your own thing. I hope your family stuff sorts out. I'll go do my own thing for a little bit. I hope everything does work out with you, and once it's done and once it's over with you and you've worked it all out, hit me up. If I'm still single, if I'm available, if I've not met someone, we'll see what happens and we'll meet up and we'll talk about it, right? That's how you should react to it, because you're not being toxic, you're not being bitter like, oh yeah, I hope whatever's going on with your family, like, I hope it gets worse and fuck you and go die. You're not being toxic about it, right? You're actually saying, I hope it all works out and I hope it goes well. But when you've sorted it out, hit me up. And if I'm available at the time, we'll see what can happen. Okay, that's such a more high value approach to it. Because really and truly, it's like I've said before, it's not even the family stuff that's necessarily getting her to put it on a break. It's very unlikely that it's just that, is what I'm trying to say. Because if she actually really loved you, she'd be leaning on you in a time like that. So you having this high value approach, it shows that she's not the center of your universe. And a lot of girls will say that they want you to be the center they want a guy who sees them as the center of the universe. But when they actually have it, and you're sitting there arguing with her to stay with you, and you're acting depressed and like, you know, your whole life is over because she's leaving, from a primitive kind of tribal environment, that would say that you're not a man who has a lot of resources. You're not a man who can look after her and a family that you have in the future. Because again, if you take this back thousands of years ago, if women would find men attractive who had lots of resources in the tribe, or men who could protect them in the tribe, men who were strong in the tribe. And I understand that there's been a lot of fluidity in terms of masculine and feminine nature since those times, granted, but it definitely still does transfer over. You cannot see a girl as the center of your universe, right? And watch my previous video to talk about kind of like a daily routine and how to get yourself into a mind frame where that will never happen to you. But you cannot have an argument with her of why she should stay with you, bro. You can't be doing that. If you are doing all the things I speak about in my video, like starting up a business or focusing on your hobbies, you won't ever be in a position where you need to beg someone to stay with you. It's very rare you're going to be in a position where someone asks you for a break. They're going to be fighting for your time. They're not going to be asking you for a break. Do you understand? So, by no means is your situation done and dusted. It's actually very positive that you still live with her, because it gives us a little wiggle room to work some magic, okay? And I actually think we can get this back on track for you. And what I'll do is, because I've anonymously addressed your email, I'll follow it up, I'll get your number, I'll give you a call, and we can speak about what I say in this video in more detail. But really and truly, what you need to do from tomorrow morning is show high value, okay? So be there to listen to her. Ask her what's going on with her family situation. Ask her how her day's been. Listen. Just be the ears for her to talk to. Be the shoulder for her to lean on. Do not be Mr. Problem Solver, Bob the Builder, coming here fixing all her problems. She doesn't need you to solve things. She needs you to listen. She needs you to be there. She needs you to be present. She needs to feel like you care, okay? So listen to her problems. Find out what's going on and just listen. Just listen. Don't offer a solution, okay? The second thing you need to do is if the topic of the break comes up again, you want to say that after having thought about it, it upsets you that you have to go on a break, but you understand that whatever it is that she's got going on has caused her to do that. Fair enough. There's nothing you can do about it. And say, once the lease has finished, you guys can go your own way. You can do your own thing. And if she sorts out whatever she sorts out in the future, hit you up. And if you are available at the time, which you don't know, right? You don't know if you're going to be available. I want you to say that. Then you might be able to patch things up and make things work again. That's exactly what I want you to say, okay? And aside from that, I want you to stop seeing this as the end of the world, because again, I've been in that situation and it's like your whole world comes crashing down. But come on, bro. You said your girlfriend goes to school and waits tables. So unless you're dating someone half your age, you sound like someone who's kind of my age too, right? You're similar age to me. So this isn't the end of the world. As much as it may seem like it is, you're a young man, okay? You got a lot of potential. Go find something you love to do and make a business on it, man. Go to the gym, get really big and go to the gym, get really strong. Learn martial arts, okay? Find something you love to do and just focus time every day into doing that, and it will build your self-esteem back up. And I can almost assure you, the fact that you guys are going to live together for a few more months, if she sees a whole 180 in your attitude of being less outcome dependent on the fact that she is taking a break from you, of being less centric on the fact that she wants a break from you and letting that ruin your mood, okay? Furthermore, being more attentive to other things in your life, such as hobbies or business or your job. Trust me, I would be extremely surprised if she didn't take back the fact that she wants to go on a break with you. Thanks, guys. Leave your comments below on what it is that you think he should do in this position, because a lot of my demographic are actually girls, so it'd be very interesting to hear what you girls think that he should do in this position that maybe I haven't touched on, or even something you maybe disagree on.